What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Comics Multiverse, the Darkfather. Now, the Darkfather is a combination of parts that you need 4 figures to complete him, and those 4 figures are the Robin King, Death Metal Superman, Death Metal Wonder Woman, and Death Metal Batman. Once you have all 4 figures, you can complete your very own Darkfather. So, with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get him off the rotating base and have a closer look at the Darkfather. And so here we have the Darkfather off the stage. Now, unfortunately, being a Build-A-Figure, Darkfather doesn't come with any accessories, so we don't get any alternate hands, no alternate heads, which is okay because he's still a very nice looking figure. So, with that out of the way, guys, let's actually take a closer look at the Darkfather. And so here we have a closer look at Darkfather, and I think McFarlane has done a really good job with this figure. Now, if you're not familiar with the Darkfather character, I don't blame you. He is part of the Dark Knight's Death Metal series, which is a really good series. I do recommend you read it. Now, Darkfather is an amalgamation of Darkseid and Batman. This is Batman getting hold of the anti-life equation and pretty much taking over Darkseid, and it looks really nice. Really surprised we got a figure of Darkfather, because that's something you never would have expected, especially from DC Collectibles or even Mattel. Really do like the detailing on his face. You can see he still has the Darkseid rocky look to him, which I do like that. Then we get this really nice detailed textured cowl. It's really done well. And we do have somewhat of a Darkseid armor design. You can see it kind of resembles Darkseid's armor. If it had just had a line going up over the middle, that would resemble his armor a little bit more. But yeah, we do get somewhat of an armored cowl look to the Darkfather. Really looking good. Now, I think not dark, but red or orange eyes would have looked better on this figure, but the yellow eyes do a good job. I really do like the cape on the Darkfather, although I do have an issue with how it pegs in. It actually tabs in at 2 points. It tabs in right here underneath his neck, and then again in the back. Now, the back tab is pretty secure. I have no problems with that. It's this tab that's a little bit wonky. What it is that this piece right here is a rubber overlay, and there's a little tab right here on the cape, and you gotta match the tab with the peg hole, and sometimes that can get a little bit annoying trying to line them up. But once you do get them lined up, the cape does stay secure, and I'm perfectly fine with the way it looks like this. So, having a look at his costume, one thing McFarlane did fantastic is sculpt the detailing on the Darkfather's outfit here. I don't know if you guys can see, but every part of his costume is textured. It actually looks like fabric. Then we do have the bat emblem with almost craggly Darkseid-esque look to it, with it being all rocky. Looks really nice. And we do have some shoulder, I don't know what to call these, shoulder bands. They don't really go on his shoulders, but they go over his pecs. They do go all the way around his arm, and those look really nice. Now, unfortunately, the bat is a little bit crooked on mine. I did try to heat it up so it straightened out, but it didn't actually straighten out, so I think this is the way it was accidentally glued on. It is a little bit unfortunate, but that's the way it is. The cape also has that same rocky detail that we saw on his cowl, except a little more extreme, which it does look good. I'm not going to lie to you. It even has the bat flares that we've come to know from Batman, so really nice job. Now, unfortunately, the cape is a very stiff plastic, so you're not going to get too much play out of it. It's not going to go anywhere. Its job is basically just hang down. So if you were expecting a flexible cape, unfortunately, we don't get that. Now, you can see he has the Darkseid Rocky-esque arms right here. It's all craggly and broken with Darkseid skin, which looks really nice. I do like that. We go on to his gauntlets right here, which, ooh, I don't know how I feel about the gauntlets. I'll be 100% honest. The gauntlets, though they are nice, they are kind of a bit of a pain to deal with, just because moving the arm, you gotta apply pressure at some point, and these aren't really soft plastic. These gauntlet spikes are pretty dense, so putting your hand on them to move a joint, you gotta like work your hand in a spot where the spikes aren't, just to get his elbow to bend, and that is a little bit unfortunate because these are really dense plastic and they are pointy. So do be careful when adjusting his arm because you might accidentally stab yourself with these and you don't want that. And then he does have 2 open hands, which look really nice. The belt on him is, I want to say it's a throwback to classic Batman with a big old utility belt right here, and then the pouches. They look really nice and they do go all the way around. The pouches have a nice weathering. If they do this with every Batman figure and just throw weathering on his belt, that would bring out so much detail. Like right here, look at how much detail this brings out. That's a really great job, and the paint on the belt looks so nice. So I don't understand why we don't get this kind of wash throughout the figure. There's a lot of detail that I really would like it to highlight, but you get lost in it because there's no paint, and that's unfortunate. Now, he is wearing the traditional Batman trunks, which the newer Batman don't actually have the trunks, which I think I've grown to be okay with Batman not having trunks. But that is something that a lot of people don't like, is Batman missing the trunks. Me, I can do with or without it. And then we see that same texturing on his legs, which looks really nice. No panel lining, which is surprising. You would expect panel lining, seeing as how this is a modern day Batman. Then we go on to his boots, which are absolutely Darkseid boots, how they come up and over the knee. Surprisingly, we do get panel lining on his boots, and that's really surprising that the only place we have panel lining is the boots. Being a modern character, it surprises me that panel lining only exists on his boots, because the way a lot of comic book costumes are made today, it's like make a vertical line, follow with adjacent lines, and then curve those lines slightly, and you get a costume. So yeah, that really does annoy me sometimes, but his boots look amazing, and they did a really good job with Darkfather here, so I really can't complain too much. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get them compared to other figures you may have in your collection. And so here we have the Darkfather posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have the Darkfather posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure in a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have the Darkfather posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. Here we have the Darkfather posed next to a McFarlane Toys Build-A-Figure the Merciless. Here we have the Darkfather posed next to a McFarlane Toys Build-A-Figure Last Night on Earth Bane. And finally, here we have the Darkfather posed next to a Justice League Mega Figure Darkseid. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually have a closer look at his articulation. Now, the Darkfather does have a double ball joint in the neck, or in the head, so he can look up only to about that far. He can look down to about that far, which is perfectly fine, seeing as how he is a taller figure. You're going to have him looking down at your collection most of the time. He can tilt his head to the side really nicely, so I do like that. Then we do have rotation at the head, and he does rotate at the perfect angle because his ball joint goes in straight rather than at an angle. His arms are on ball joints, so they do go back and forward really nicely. Not the furthest, but they do go back and forth, pivot up and down, and because his upper torso is a softer plastic, you can see it does get out of the way, so I do like that. Arms go up to about here before they unpeg the cape, and you can see right there, that's the peg I'm talking about. It kind of does get annoying when that comes unpegged because you gotta work it back in, but you can. His arms go out to the side, no problem. We do have, it's just like with the Last Night on, or not Last Night on Earth, Death Metal Superman's arm, where the bicep is just a cover and your actual swivel is at the elbow. So you can see he does have elbow rotation. He can bend at the elbow, and then we do get that really nice rotation, so that works fine. He does have a ball hinge here at the wrist, so we do have, where's that joint? We do have some up and down movement. It is a little bit stiff, and you gotta really be careful for these, because these, you can see they are making indents on my finger. They do rotate nicely, so I do like that. Ball joint goes forward and back a little bit, kind of loose on mine, but it does provide rotation. We do have a second ball joint down here, which is a little bit stiff, goes back more than it goes forward. Thighs do go, or legs do kick forward to about there, kick back, out to the side, no problem, despite being a bigger figure. He does have rotation at the thigh. We do get double bend here at the knee, and we get some pretty good range out of that double joint, so I do like that. We do have a ball swivel right here at the ankle, so it does rotate left and right, can go up and down with a hinge, and then we do have rocker ankle because of that swivel, or we can get a true rocker ankle because it is on a ball joint. So yeah, I really do like that joint right there. It works perfectly fine. And then of course we do get, let's see, yeah, a toe hinge. It was just a little stuck on mine. So overall, really do like the articulation on Darkfather. It works for as big as he is. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get him posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the Darkfather pose for my final thoughts, and overall Darkfather was an interesting choice to have for a death metal series. In all honesty, I'm surprised they didn't go with a more recognizable character for the dark metal, death metal series like Barbados. I think that would have been a much better Build-A-Figure than Darkfather, but Darkfather is an interesting choice to say the least. I know it's another Batman, and McFarlane seems to be doing nothing but Batman figures. This figure I am a little bit torn on. There's parts of it that I like, but then I really didn't care much for the Darkfather in the comics, so I really don't know what to think of the figure. The figure is really nice, and McFarlane did a fantastic job with the detailing both on the suit and the rocky Darkseid skin. If they had only gone into this making a comic book Darkseid, I think I might look like this a little bit better. It has potential to be a good figure, but some of the articulation is kind of lacking. I would have liked to see some double joints and some better abdomen articulation, but overall this is still a good figure if you are looking for an interesting choice to have in your shelf. Darkfather here is a really cool figure, and unfortunately, being a Build-A-Figure, you do have to collect 4 figures to make this guy, and those 4 figures will run you $25 each. So at the very least, you are spending at least $100 for this guy. Thankfully, I did complete my Darkfather for $80. I was able to buy the entire way for $19.99 from Target's website, and I am really happy about that, because Darkfather here, despite being a nice looking figure, really wasn't high on my list of wants, so he's just kind of there in the collection. And unfortunately, he's probably going to be put in a case rather than displayed on my shelf. So, it is what it is. But Darkfather is still a really nice figure. So, with that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other McFarlane DC Multiverse videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it fits in my collection, I'll gladly have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.